Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome to Gift of Healing TV. I'm Sarah Jane, your hostess and founder, and I am delighted to welcome Janine Savient, who's joined me today. Now, unfortunately, Heather isn't able to join us. She's not well enough to be able to join us, but we're here to introduce, to share more about the Global Rising Summit. Janine, let me just introduce Janine to you. Janine is an intuitive visionary seer, group facilitator, teacher of heart-centered self-awareness, international speaker, and a messenger for love. Her knowing of reality is broad and deep and goes beyond what most know as their own reality. Janine is the trigger, the reminder. Oops, what have I done? I've moved the thing, sorry. Reminder that one that carries the light through the dark tunnel of remembering, supporting those ready to move forward on the journey of self. For most have been veiled from themselves for eons of time. With her clarity of vision, deep insight, open heart, and love for all, Janine walks beside those ready to undertake the greatest journey they will ever take. The journey through their personal truth and into their magnificence. Janine is, along with Heather, they are the founders of the Global Rising Summit. Janine, welcome to the program and thank you for coming to share with us. Janine, you've gone, your mic's off. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, I do love this. Technology is great. Can you try again? We've lost your mic. I can't hear you at all. Janine, if you go to the top, if you move your mouse, ladies and gentlemen, I do love technology. And we've been talking for a while before this, so I don't know what's happened here. If you go to the top, you move your mouse, there is, of the screen, there should come up, it doesn't say that your mic's off, so I don't know what's happened here, but I don't know whether it shows, does it say mute mic or does it say that you need to turn your mic back on? Maybe if you try muting it, yeah, you've muted it now and it's back off. Can you speak to me? Try talking to me. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I do love technology and I really don't know what's happened. Janine, can you do me a favor? Can you log out and log back in again? And let's see whether that resolves the issue. Can you hear that? You can't hear me now. Oh, right. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is hilarious. Right, let me just do this. Janine, can you log out and back in? I don't know what's happened here. Can you look to the side? I've just put you a note. Janine, can you log out and back in? There are notes at the side. I've put you a message. Log out. Log out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great deal of fun and I do sincerely apologize, but we can't do anything about technology. And for some reason, she can't hear me and I can't, and we can't hear her. So, and we were talking for about half an hour before, so I have no idea what's happened here. The Global Rising Summit, you will find some information on our Gift of Healing TV website. If you go to the top where all the little links are, Global Rising Summit, and you can find a page there. I think, oops, it looks like she's coming back. Let's hope we can see, we can hear her. I like seeing people, but right, that sounds like I might be able to hear something. I haven't got a picture. Janine, can you hear me?
Yes.
Ah, I've got you.
Goodness knows what that was about. But thank you for the beautiful introduction, Sarah, and it's a pleasure to finally be here and be heard.
Oh, bless. Thank you. Right, Janine, great to have you here. Please, can you share a little of your story and what brought you to what was your motivation behind creating the Global Rising Summit?
Sure, Sarah. So all my life I've been different. And I mean, many can say that, but it was like I was born into the wrong family. I was the square peg and they were all the round pegs. And so from the tiniest child all the way through, I haven't fitted the mold or what society deems as normal. My view of life was very, very different to everybody else's. And I saw life as a multi-leveled playing field, and most people live their life in the black and white area, and I lived my life in the grey area. So on the energetic level and the emotional level, that was more my knowing of life, and this physical level was the very last part for me. So as I grew up and I realized how different I was, very different even to the entire area that I was born into, in the township that I grew up in, I was always known as witchy poo, or people just didn't know what to label me. But what that did for me is that taught me to stand in the power of myself and my truth. And the older I got, the more I was determined that nobody was going to take me from me and mold me into their idea of truth, because every one of us has our own personal truth, and nobody's truth is the same as anybody else's. So through growing up and through being very, very different, I went not so long ago where I started watching others and seeing that more and more in this world there were people that were as different, that were some of them not even coming out, but knowing how different they were and not knowing what to do with that difference. And we're so diverse, like this, the human race, 7.5 billion of us, and there's not one the same. But those of us that I call on the leading edge of thought are the ones with the progressive knowing of. And we're all headed in the same direction. Of course, every one of us is headed back to source, is headed to love, it's headed to God, is headed to whatever that point of consciousness is for us. But there's 7.5 billion pathways to get back there, because every one of us takes our own. So getting to the summit, what Heather and myself decided to do, Heather is exactly the same as me, very, very different, and embraces that difference in herself, loves that part of herself, or loves herself for that. So what we decided to do was we decided to put a platform together and invite anybody who was ready to stand up, speak out, and be seen by the world in showcasing themselves and whatever their differences were, whatever they were or are. And we supply the platform, we walk them through it, we support them, and then we allow them to open. And you see, even though they're speaking on video, they're being interviewed, and they're allowing the world to see and hear them, in reality, Sarah, they are seeing and hearing themselves. So therein lies the power, because they have found the courage to do this, to stand up and do this, and the empowerment afterwards, what we've witnessed, is huge. In fact, it's like a celebration every time we interview somebody and the interview finishes. It's like a huge celebration because they've done it, and they're so very, very proud of themselves, if you like, for finding the courage to do it. So that's what the summit's all about. It's about, there is no particular topic whatsoever. We just say that if you life, for instance, a very rough life, but from where you stand in yourself right now in this moment, you know that that life was there for a reason. It has brought you to the beauty that you know yourself to be right now, and you wish to share your journey with others so that they can in some way feel supported in their own journey and know that everything is for a reason, everything is an experience. Then we have those, they are standing up in the summit. We have those that have beautiful businesses and they wanting to showcase their businesses, holistic businesses, spiritual businesses and healing arts and many different modalities. There's those that have unique and very special gifts and they want to showcase their gifts to the world. We have those that are so diverse and so expanded in their knowing of their reality that they're stepping forward and actually saying who they know themselves to be and where they're actually from beyond these human bodies. So it's open to anybody who's got a story that they wish to share that's going to empower them to say it. And somebody once said to us just a few weeks ago, well, what's your target market? And we jokingly said we have defined and refined it right down to all of humanity. So all of humanity is our target market, and anybody that gets triggered or out of whatever's being said, get some comfort, some support, wants to go and see any of these beautiful ones that we have that are standing up on the platform. Every one of them has their contact details underneath their interviews, and every one of them is more than happy to be contacted and are there for those that wish to, that have a pull, have a draw to go and see them. So that's what the summit's all about. This is Heather's second summit. She did one at the beginning of this year, which I was one of the speakers on, and it was from there that we got together, her and me, and we decided that smaller. This one's got a far wider reach and is a larger one with 36 speakers, and so we're blown away so far by how popular it's been and the comments and the connections that are being made, but also by the support of each speaker for each other speaker. It's absolutely beautiful, the family that's actually formed within the group of speakers. These people have never met before, and they're from Denmark, the UK, Ireland, USA, Australia, New Zealand, like many different countries, and they're really supporting each other within this. So it's really truly wonderful to see.
Brilliant. It really is. Actually, there was a thought that came to me when you said about the black and white, and then you said you live in the grey area, and it just popped into my head. Majority of people live in black and white. They can move not into the grey area, but to the totally, purely beautiful, colourful area that is life.
Yes.
And I think that you've used a terminology that we are all that grey area, that unknown area, but actually maybe we should be changing that to that colourful area, and that's what everybody's doing. Yeah, I try to wear colour. I don't get me wrong, I love black, but I try to wear colour, and that's what we should do. And that's what, to me, I'm hearing here is everybody is stepping into the full colour of their life. And by sharing what they're sharing, they are saying to everybody, you can do exactly the same.
That's absolutely correct. When I say the grey area, Sarah, of course it was meaning a very different area to the norm. But I totally agree with what you're saying about the colour, because what I've found for myself is that being in my power and standing in my truth and saying to the world, this is who I am. I may be different to what you understand is the norm, but this is who I am, and I love who I am. from my world, I see colours so vividly. And often I'm saying to my flatmates, take a look at the grass today, look at the emerald green of the grass, or the sunset, and I'll say, look at the golden glow. It's like we are really beginning to see colour in our life on a more vivid level than we ever have before. So living in the full colour of life is absolute truth. Absolute truth, because colour is becoming a lot more vivid, and we all know now, of course, that colour is very, very healing as well, and used within healing modalities. And colour is vibration. Every colour is a different vibration. So the importance of colour is really, well, it's important, absolutely. And learning more and more about colour all the time now. Yes, so I totally agree with what you're saying. In fact, I think I will change that from now on and say, rather than the black and white, sounds much, much better. Thank you, Sarah.
That's all. It's my pleasure. It just came to me when you talked about the grey, and I just thought, do you know what? It isn't the grey area. The grey area, which I now is going to refer to as the colourful area, is the area that people are afraid to step into while they stay in their black and white. They know what's going to happen, or they have got a very good idea. They try and control life. And when you step outside your comfort zone, you step from the black and white into the colour, into
Yes.
the experiences of life and everything that life has to offer you. And I think, from what you're saying and from what I'm hearing about the summit, those people that are participating in the summit, whether it's the first interview they've ever given, whether they've done multiple ones, it doesn't matter. And some of your guests have also been guests here on Gift of Healing TV.
Yes.
So they are mutual guests for both of us. They have stepped into that colour and they're sharing with people, do you know what? We started in the black and white. So many of us started in black and white. And we've been able to step out. Our healing journey, our life journey, or whatever journey you want to call it, enables us now to live in the colour. And by sharing what we're sharing, we are hoping something will resonate with you that then empowers you to take that step out of the black and white into the colour of life.
That's absolutely correct, because what the speaker does when they're standing on the platform and they're sharing their life, and whoever's watching that is given permission by that person's courage to step forward and do that. They're given permission to be their authentic self in whatever that means for them. And so, and being authentic, being in their truth, being real to themselves is the colour. That is the full spectrum of the colour for them. So yes, there is definitely a connection there in what you're saying between the colour. And actually, as you were talking, Sarah, I was in my mind's eye, I was seeing the beautiful ones that have joined the summit so far, one at a time, stepping up on the platform and speaking their truth to the world. And it's like the platform is a rainbow. They're standing on a rainbow. And I say that because once they are in the energy and they're actually speaking, they are so beautiful in their truth. They're so empowered. They're empowering themselves as they speak. And it's glorious to see. And more now, people are wanting to do this. They're wanting to be real. They're wanting to be in their full truth. They are not concerned now about what another may think of them. You know, myself, and I speak for others that I know, we realise it's not our business how another sees us and what they say about us. Harm us if we allow it to, or if we join in the conversation with them. They're allowed to have their own say. So, but for all those that, and we've had so many that have made contact now through watching the summit, because it started on the 5th of December, and it goes through to the 27th of February, and there's 3 speakers a week, and we've had so many contact us that have watched each of the speakers so far, and they resonate. that the speaker has said has resonated so deeply with them. We either have others that have joined up because they have seen somebody and that is their story too, different but the same, and they could feel the power in that person as they were speaking, and they want to experience that for themselves. We've had so many people say that they've been ready for such a long time to just say who they are, but they didn't know who to say it to. They didn't know what it would do for them, but it's been sitting in there like a bottle filled to the top with liquid dying to come out, and here is a platform where they can do it. A lot of the speakers don't even realise where it's going to take them, but they know it's going to take them somewhere. And whether it takes them somewhere out in the world or somewhere deep in themselves, it's all amazingly wonderous, and it's all very real, and it's all the next step for every one of them. So I'm absolutely loving doing the interviews. I've had so many beautiful sitting on the other end of the screen that I have interviewed, everyone vastly different so far, but everyone glorious in the energy of themselves as they're speaking, and having others listen to them, like myself and Heather. There's absolutely no judgment. If anything, there is a huge enthusiasm and support for them to open up and to speak. They're realising now that there's many more out in the world too who are going to accept them for who they know themselves to be, and it's wonderful because it shows me that there's a collaboration here, that people are banding together, they're coming together, and different is not so different anymore. Different is actually getting to become the norm now. So that's the beautiful thing about this world. We're opening up onto levels that we've only dreamed about, that we've held hidden within us, inside our minds, inside our hearts for so long, and now we're being asked to open up. We're being invited to open up and allow to become to be out there so others can see that reality for themselves. There's learning and everything.
Oh, absolutely. And what I'm getting is this whole summit that you're sharing is saying to people, you can do this. Every single one of us, or practically every single one of us, has come from something that you will resonate with, something that you can say, that's my life, or been my life, or whatever. You can do it. This is your life to live. You don't have to live within a comfort zone, within black and white, within a box. Just chuck it all away, get rid of the comfort zone, get rid of the box, get rid of the black and white, and have that color in your life. Live your life. And you did this about, what are other people thinking about you? I think this was the biggest awakening that came to me, was actually in the majority of cases, people aren't thinking about you at all. They're thinking about what's going on in their own life. So we spend our time worrying about what others are thinking, and the truth of the matter is they aren't. And when you can truly grasp that it is all right to think for yourself, stop trying to get inside other people's heads and what are they thinking about me? They're not. Get on with your life. They might be worrying about what you're thinking about them, and you're not. We're living in this bubble. It's almost as if we've been taught to worry about what other people think about us. And we've got to let go of that. We've got so much unlearning to do. And hopefully that everybody that connects with this is being given permission to unlearn and to step into their power.
Absolutely. You see, I totally agree with what you've said again there, Sarah. We have for lifetimes been taught that there's rules and regulations, that society says what is normal. We've lived within the bounds of those limitations for such a long time, and now we're breaking out. Now we're realizing that that so much more. There is so much more to life than what we've ever known before, and we're wanting to explore that. And whereas in the past we've been, and you used the words yourself before, we've been too afraid to step out of our comfort zone. You know, we may not be happy within that comfort zone, but it's known, it's secure. So, you know, for lifetimes we've stayed in our comfort zones, but now we are wanting, we're even against a lot of people's will at times, they are starting to stretch out of their comfort zones. And we're realizing that the only fear there is in the step out, because the step out of the comfort zone is the step from the known into the unknown. And there's always fear with that step into the unknown. But the moment we step into the unknown, it becomes known. So the fear is only in the step, is only in the stretch. And the greater part of us, or our soul, self, or whatever part we call that, is encouraging us now, is stretching us out, because in our authenticity we are beautiful beings of light energy. And we've had many, many lives and many, many timelines right now in many star civilizations. And here we are, this aspect of us right now is in this body that I call Janine, that you call Sara. And we're having an experience right here, right now, you and me in this conversation. This entire life is made up of experiences that we co-create for ourselves. And so the summit platform and talking about these lifetime experiences that we've had, or previous lifetime experiences, or experiences on other timelines or in other star civilizations. We are getting it all on the summit. Is giving other people permission to go into the memory in themselves, or to have some deep knowing triggered in them. Oh my goodness, I've had an experience like that myself in this lifetime, or I've always wondered about that feeling in myself, or that knowing. So it's giving permission to so many others. And it's like, wow, that man or that woman is standing there, or is being interviewed on that program, and they're stating this. So I can do this too. And so conversations are starting up all around the world from watching the summit. You know, people are actually saying, wow, I saw this person and he said blah, blah, blah. And it starts a conversation. So that triggers someone else, and that triggers someone else. And this is where my passion is to support people to stand in their truth, in their authenticity, and say, look at me, world, this is who I am. Right in this moment, this is my knowing, and I want to say hi and share myself with you. So that's what the summit is all about.
And it is so important that we are true to ourselves. You know, if there's something that you're doing you're not comfortable with, is it you're not comfortable with it just because it's a bit scary, or is it you're not comfortable with it because it really isn't right for you? And you will know the difference in that feeling of scary, or
Yes.
this really isn't for me. And you know, all that everybody is doing, from the sounds of it to me, is sharing how their experience, from where they've come
Yes.
to where they've got to, in some cases how they've got there. And with some of the, I don't like the word, because healers, because the only person who can heal you is you, but
Yes.
people like myself, we offer a tool that empowers your own self-healing. So I'm going to use the word healers, but I wish I could find another word. You know, our journey is, we can help other people on their journey, but we're helping them empower themselves. And that's what it's all about. There are people out there, folks, that can help you, that have gone through their own journey, and they're not going to make your journey necessarily easier, Um, but they can help empower that journey, and it'll go at the speed it's meant to do. But that's what this is all about. It's about saying to you, you can step into your true self. You can let go of fear of other people's judgment of you, of having to do what you think other people want you to do, doing what's right for you. And what so many people fail to grasp is that what is right for you in so many cases is what is right for the other individual. And too many people think, I've got to do that for them. It might not be right for me, but it's right for them. No, 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 it isn't necessarily right for them. It's not for you to sort out other people's lives. It is for you to live your own life.
Absolutely, that's where the power is us living our own life. On the summit, Sarah, we have at least 2 or 3 who have cured themselves of cancer. This is stage 3, stage 4 cancer, and they have learnt techniques, holistic techniques, emotional techniques, mind techniques that have cured it completely from them, and they speak their story. So you saying before about us healing ourselves is absolutely 100% correct. These people now are teaching others how to cure themselves, and so they've come onto the summit to talk. And we have other speakers who have gone through ritualistic abuse during their lives, sexual and mental and emotional, and yet the person that you see speaking on the summit is the most beautiful, balanced individual who exudes love, and so they have taken that life experience and they have made it work for them rather than becoming a victim to it. So there's so many beautiful ones. One speaker, when her mother gave birth to her, she thought she was dead and she threw her in a rubbish tin. And this little bundle was found wrapped in newspapers, thrown in a rubbish bin. So she tells her, and she's a beautiful healer in Australia now, so she tells her story. And so we have, there's many on there that are, we've got 30 speakers now. We have 36 places. We're looking for 6 more beautiful ones from anywhere in the world that have a pull to join us, and they would contact me, and I would send them out all the details so that they could see whether it's for them or not. So that's another reason for me talking to you tonight, as well as getting the summit out there, is also to just let them know that there is 6 more seats. So.
Oh, brilliant. So what is your email? What's the address they should contact you on?
It's Janine.Savient.
Savient, yeah.
@gmail.com.
Okay, I'll put that up there for those that are watching us live, and I will put it under the video.
That would be lovely.
You also, the Global Rising Summit is part of something much bigger, the Global Rising Project. So I'm assuming here that if you'd like to share a bit about the Global Rising Project, but even if the summit is finished, because okay, this video will be around for as long as YouTube are happy to have it up. So connect with Janine even if the summit is over, because there is the potential that there is something else going on. So do you want to share a little bit about the Global Rising Project, which is of course the overall banner from what we were talking about earlier?
Certainly. So this is one of many summits that we're going to have. We're hoping to have 2 to 3 a year, and We've already got half a dozen people who have their name down for the next one, who can't be a part of this one for different reasons, but they've put their name down for the next one. We are also looking at holding events, and we're actually looking at moving out around the world with these events. And these will be 1 and 2 day events where there'll be 3 of us. There'll be myself, Heather, and another one, Greg. And each of us comes with our area of expertise and our gifts. And we're going to be going out and encouraging people to come to these events and to be seen, and to and we will see them for who they are. We will encourage. Heather has amazing healing skills, as does Greg, and they will be working with their modalities, with their specialties. Both very, very different individuals. And what I love to do is, I'm called the messenger for love. So I hold people in my loving healing, and I'm a speaker, so I'm the one that will be there doing most of the talking at these events. And what our mission is to get people to feel the center of themselves, where their power is, to understand that that they are okay in whatever they know themselves to be, that to be the whole being that they are means that they are all of the shadow and all of the light. So every aspect of them is welcome. In fact, is welcome by them themselves, is what we encourage, because, Sarah, that is unconditional love, when we can love ourselves unconditionally in every aspect that presents itself. What we call the good and the bad, the shadow and the light, the beautiful and the ugly, these are all just human terms. Every aspect of us makes us a whole being. So we're learning now that unconditional love means there is no judgment whatsoever for ourselves or any other in this world, and there is only acceptance for all these beautiful parts. So we're going to be going out with our events, with our summits, and we encourage whole self, holistic.
And it is so important to have that wholeness of self. And I suppose, this is why I do what I do with Gift of Healing TV. It's why you're doing what you do. It's why so many people, people are used to these type of things coming from America. And it's great because I'm coming from the UK, you're coming from New Zealand. And this is spreading out. It is not just US based anymore. And it's great that it started, and it needed to, but it's wonderful that it is no longer just in the USA. And that's great because you've got guests on from the USA. I've had guests on from the USA. And all of this is about helping each one of us. And even if we've started our journey, listen to other people, because there could be that one tidbit of information that takes you that next step further. We're all constantly growing, constantly learning, constantly experiencing. And life is so precious and should be lived in color.
Absolutely. Sarah, we are all each other's teachers. We are all each other's students. Every one of us here on this earth plane, 7.5 billion, if we could learn to live in a collaboration with each other, and we're moving more and more into communities, more and more pockets of people are coming together, the power of us is magnificent. So, the power of 1 is incredible. The power of 2 is 100-fold. The power of 10 is thousands-fold. So get a collaboration of like-minded or like-hearted individuals. And, in reality, every human being on the face of this planet is a like-hearted individual. And when we are recognizing that more and more each other, and we come together and we help each other, we support each other, we see each other, we accept each other, we then love each other. And that's what it's all about, is coming to that particular place within ourselves where we can look at another and we can go, wow, in you I see myself. and the beauty of me, you know, because life is a reflection always. Always. I always say to people, you know, if you judge a person, if you see a person across the road and you judge that person, it's actually yourself you're judging, because you wouldn't recognize what you're judging in that one unless it was in you first. So anytime you find yourself judging, life is giving you an invitation to step inward and see what is that part that you're actually judging. And don't be harsh, don't be rough on yourself with it. Embrace it back into yourself with the love, because it's an aspect that's wanting to come back into the whole, you know. So the beauty, the colour of life.
The love, the whole of yourself, every single aspect of it. Take that flame of love in your heart and encompass the whole of you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you're speaking my language now.
We're coming to the end of the program. Is there anything that I haven't asked about either the Global Rising Summit or the project that you would like to share with us? And folks, and if you let me, is it just the Global Rising Summit.com that's the website? What's the website? Because I'll put that up.
Yes, globalrisingsummit.com. So
okay, right. So is there anything else?
We're on Facebook. We have a Facebook page just under the Global Rising Summit. We have a website that shows the speakers. Anybody that wishes to join us, just to let everybody know that to watch the summit, it's free. To join us, there is a fee for the work that we do, and but it's a very minor fee, and we've kept it down as much as we can. And but yes, it's free for anybody to just come on and watch anytime they want, and to make contact with me if they would love to be a part of this. If they have words dying to come out, if they have a heart that's feeling excited at the moment, if their mind has gone into overdrive because they want to be a part of this, then to make contact with me. And if not for this one, for the next one, I'll put their name down and make sure that they're contacted. And we would love to have them. We would love to have them. And just to let the viewers know also, Sara, that you're coming on to the summit as well. You're going to be one of our beautiful guest speakers. I'd just like to tell your viewers that they can, in a few weeks' time, we'll be seeing their dear Sara on the summit. We're so happy to have you with us.
Oh, thank you. And I am really looking forward to that. I really am. Janine, thank you so much. Folks, I hope that you will sort of sign up to watch these. That there are so many gifts being brought to you. These people that are sharing their lives, this is a gift that they are offering. And every single one of us, when we share our story, it's an amazing gift that we are giving ourselves and we are giving to everybody else. So please feel free to sign up and watch for free. That's what this is all about. Janine, thank you. Next week, folks, I'm going to be doing a program, Dowsing for Self. So using a sort of dowsing pendulum, keep still, body dowsing. Dowsing for self. You don't have to be an expert in dowsing. I wouldn't say I'm an expert in dowsing. I just use it an awful lot, and it can help you to do what's right for you, because you're asking yourself, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Food, all sorts of things. Dowsing for self next week. So I hope you will join us next week. Janine, thank you so very much. I'm sorry we had a glitch at the beginning, but it was obviously how it was. That's life for you. Thank you for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Folks, thank you for being with us. Everybody's been quiet, but that's fine. Do contact Janine, however. If you're watching the replay of this, watching the YouTube video, do contact Janine. Any queries about the summit, the project, get in touch with her. Janine, thank you for being with us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Sara.
Love, peace and light to you all. Take care. Have a brilliant week. See you next week. Namaste.